Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Colorado Avalanche franchise mode here in NHL 19. So in last episode, we won our second Stanley Cup in 5 years and our third altogether. That was our second time actually beating the Pittsburgh Penguins in the Cup finals, so it was kind of interesting there. Anyways, with NHL 20 just around the corner, like within, I don't know when this episode's going up, but I'd say like 2-3 weeks. This might be one of the final off-season episodes because I think we probably will be making the playoffs, and if I'm still putting up 2 episodes a week, this is probably the final off-season. So yeah, anyways, there's a straw poll in the description for you guys to go vote on who you want to see me do for the first GM mode of NHL 20. There's probably around like 14 15 teams because I took the teams I already did off the list, so that includes the Islanders, the Canucks, the Colorado Avalanche, the Minnesota Wild, the Ottawa Senators, and the Carolina Hurricanes. I don't know if I said that already, but yeah, there's like 6 teams I took off from that reason, and I also took off all the top teams, so I'm not going to be doing like Tampa Bay, Edmonton, that type of idea, because even though Edmonton's not even in the playoff spot right now, I just don't really feel like doing them. So anyways, we're up here in the off season looking to kind of add some new young pieces that you guys won't get to see a lot of, but I will be doing probably a recap episode where I say how much Stanley Cups we ended up finishing with and all that stuff. It's not going to be as in depth as prior recap videos, but it's going to be more of like a short, maybe 25-minute video where I just talk about how much Stanley Cups we won, who our leading point men all time were, and then also I could talk about the entire league considering this was my 1999 build. So anyways, let's get into this draft. The only one remaining from our original squad is Chris Drury because Peter Forsberg decided to hang them up at the end of after the Stanley Cup celebration and all that. So anyways, St. Louis has got first, followed by New Jersey and Detroit. Interesting. So we're all the way up here. We have 2 first-round picks. One from the Sharks, which is number 26. And then we also have 31. And then we also have 2 second-rounders, 1 third-rounder, because that was San Jose's as the qualifying thing for Hines. So let's see the first 5 picks. So the franchise guy, Silverthorne, going to the St. Louis Blues. I guess you could say that's like their new Tarasenko, because I think Tarasenko was drafted 2010 or 2012 or something, but still. DeVries goes to New Jersey. Detroit will take Tkachuk, so they're getting more good pieces because they did already have like the best goal scorer in the league in his rookie season. They also had a guy win like put up over 100 points in his 3rd season. So yeah, Detroit's going to be a very scary team soon. And then Vignetti goes to Edmonton, and the Rangers are going to take an offensive defenseman in Arnott. Okay, so let's see what we could get here with number 26 from the San Jose Sharks. So we could get a top 6 forward prospect, which is good. I think that's probably what we'll do. There's Farmer. He actually looks not too bad if he's accurate. He's 17, like a Tyler Seguin, so he's probably a top 6. There's also this guy, but we have a lot of wingers. We don't have actually a lot of young centers that could win faceoffs, so we're going to take Amrit Farmer here with our first pick. Top 6 forwards, 64 overall, and he's a 2-way forward, so this guy might be a good third, second liner, kind of penalty killing guy maybe. Yeah, I could see that maybe down the road. I'm just giving you guys some hints of what he could potentially turn into while when I do all the other stuff by myself, because I'm going to be simming the rest of the series out afterwards, after I finish the next 4 or 5 episodes, depending on if we make the playoffs or not. Okay, so our second first pick, we could use another defensive prospect potentially. Vesa Korhonen. Trevor Cross looks still pretty good though. Do I go at Trevor Cross? He would be a good replacement potentially down the road for Forsberg, maybe. Yeah, let's take Trevor Cross. Why not? He's probably going to be like a top 9 watch. He's not going to be that good. And yeah, he was a top 9, 62 overall. So yeah, that was not a really good choice, but whatever. Let's sim to our other second round. We'll do our first 2 rounds, and then we'll auto sim after this round. So Wilson Parker. We could use more centers, but there is low elites. Ooh, a low elite, maybe center sniper. This guy's probably going to be a top 9 now again. Maybe not. We'll take him. Nice. Low elite center playmaker, so he's not a sniper, but he's still pretty good. 64 overall out of the draft, so he's probably going to be in the NHL in a couple years. Oh, yeah, we only have 1 second rounder, I guess. So we'll do our third rounder, and then we'll auto sim the rest. So, Doughty, maybe? Or do we go with the best? No, that guy's a top 9. Yeah, let's go Doughty. Mr. Emiliano Doughty is a low top 6. Okay, not too bad. Okay, so we'll auto sim the rest of this draft and see what the computer gets us. Hopefully the computer gets us some decent players. So after that, we got Obergauer, Curry, Stepan, and Rhinus. Okay. So, who do we have to sign this year? I think there was a couple big contracts, like I think Galchenyuk needs a contract extension. And then also, who was it? Chris Drury also needs maybe another 1-year extension. So there you go, get those scouts back. Because those scouts have done some great jobs at finding some good players. So yeah, we have Galchenyuk as one of our RFAs to sign. He's one of our best players. He's going to be probably playing under top line next season. In that sense, I might be letting go of Zubov. Because I think Zubov's contract, or trading away Zubov. No, Zubov's a UFA. Yeah, some of these guys might not come back. Or not want to come back. So Galchenyuk, we're definitely getting you back for... Yeah, I could do 5 years and that $6 million. I could talk you down to 5.9. Yeah, I'll talk you down to 5.9. I think that's a pretty decent contract. Especially for a guy that puts up like 50, 60 points sometimes. And then Finger, we'll get you back 1 year at $2 million maybe. Boudreaux, 1 year at $1 million. Pozo probably doesn't want that much. Yeah, 2 years, I'll give you 2 years. But at 1.1. Petrovic wants a 2-way contract. Finn, yeah, I guess we'll get you back for the AHL, even though you don't want that much. There you go. Goalies, no goalie RFAs. Unsigned guys, let's take a look at our prospects. So Nichols, I don't remember when we drafted him, maybe last year. Yeah, he was a last year pick, so he's going to get signed to his entry-level contract. Oh, we have Nichols and Nickel. That's interesting. But this guy probably won't make it. Farmer, where was he playing again? He was playing in the OHL, so he won't get to the AHL this season. Mahalik, I think, was playing in the US. No, he was playing in the WHL. I won't sign him yet either. Probably won't sign any of these guys. Maybe not Tommy Cross, Trevor Cross. Because he was a first rounder. No, he was in the OHL though. We'll leave him for a year as well. Yeah, not a lot of good prospects, but Obergauer is a top 6 forward. And he's only 17. And he was the 4th rounder. Okay, so the computer might have got us a really good steal here. He's a low overall, but he's really young. And he has top 6 forward potential, so that guy might grow. No unsigned goalies. Okay, so UFAs. Chris Drury, we definitely want to bring you back for 1 more year. I'm not giving you a 7-year contract at that. But 7 years at 4.4, that's kind of a weird contract. So we'll give you 1 year at 7. Yeah, we'll give you 7. Considering you're playing with a bunch of youngsters now. 1 year at 7. Zubov, I want to get you back maybe and then trade you eventually. We'll give you 1 year at 6.5. Maybe we'll give you 6.6, yeah. Give you a little bit more money. Henry, I want you to come back. He was actually a pretty decent defensive defenseman last year because he was like a plus 17, I think. So 1 year at 5.3. A lot of these UFAs I'll always just give 1 year contracts to. Just because that way I could potentially like ship them out at the deadline. and then I don't run into problems with younger guys. I'll sign probably all these guys again, just because I want to make us go for at least one more chance at Cup. Even though that might not happen, because it's hard to win back-to-back. So Laddie as well, we'll give you 4 million. And yes, I'm basically just using this fact that there's no salary cap. Okay, so some of these guys are gonna go because those guys weren't signed, are not gonna get signed. Yonkman, top 9 forward, 65 at 20 is not bad. We'll sign you. Same with Jaskalainen because he's 68 at 20. You know those guys probably won't make it. Pitton, 69 at 20 for top or bottom 6, not bad. Burkle, we're gonna let go of you for the AHL team. Roach, he probably won't get much time if he does play this year. Like, he'd be a depth defenseman again. And I'll offer him still 1 year at 1.8, why not? And then Z-Daddy or Zadorov, yeah, we'll give you 1 year also. Like, some of these guys, like I said, I might just flip away eventually, but we'll see if we get all those guys back. Hopefully we do, because like I want this team to still be as good as possible. I don't want to lose any big names. So there was a rejection in there, a couple rejections actually. So I'll have to see who rejected. Hopefully not Galchenyuk's an RFA if he was anyways, but no, he accepted. So Zubov was the one that I accepted, and same with Roach. And oh yeah, we have goalies to deal with as well. So Graves is definitely going to come back as their backup next season, because he was not necessarily the greatest, but he was pretty good for his money. So when you're at 2.65, both these starting goalie prospects are going to get signed for the AHL club. There you go. So yeah, Murray Roach I think is going to go. We'll probably pick up another depth defenseman. And Zubov, I want you to still play with us, because aren't you left-handed? Yeah, you are. So you could play on the left wing, not the right wing, because the right wing is kind of like getting filled up by a lot of young guys. So we'll give you 1 year at $7 million. And the reason I'm going to still give him a contract is because he just came off a pretty good season, like I think like 50, 60 points. Hopefully he accepts that. And yes, he does. Okay, good. I think that's everybody. Let's just make sure, because I don't want to lose anybody. Because I've done that mistake before where I've accidentally released somebody. Nope, nobody left. Okay, good. So let's get to free agencies. So I think all we need is really some depth. Like, we have Petrovic as depth, but as a depth defenseman, since we just let go of Roach, we need to find somebody there. Other than that, what do we have on our roster so far? Let's see. So, oh yeah, Jokela might want to play on the NHL team, so we might let go of somebody eventually. So center-wise, we are good. Petrovic is the number 5. Well, actually, Boudreaux wasn't that good at face-offs, was he? Oh, he is. Okay. So yeah, Petrovic would be the number 5 center, so he'd be our depth guy for that. Darling would also be a depth forward. Same with Grollo. Well, Grollo actually would be the AHL. Jokela might play this year, but I would have to find a way to balance the lines a bit. And then Okposo, yeah, I think we're good on the forward count. Defensively, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Climber's already 25, so yeah, we need just a 7th defenseman. Goalies, we're good as well. So yeah, just a depth defenseman, and then that's all we need. Not too much of an offseason. I don't know who's out there for big names, but we'll see as well. So, wow, Alan Ellis is a free agent. That guy was a pretty decent pick by the Canucks a few years back. Huh. Okay, so defenseman. So we just need a depth defender. Okay, so 78 overall depth defender. We want somebody that has good defensive stats and whatnot too. So Petri Perrieta, 83, 85. Yeah, this guy might be good. What about this Natnan guy? Nah, he's not that good. Tootin, 86. defensive awareness. You know what? We'll go with Tootin. I like to go with the guy that has a bit of better defensive stats, because that way at least he comes in, maybe he plays pretty good in terms of like penalty kill and all that stuff. So we'll sign that Tootin guy, and then that should be it. And he accepted. So anyways, guys, I'll see you guys at the start of next season with our lines. Okay, guys, so here are our lines for the 2030-2031 season. So our roster looks really good in a sense. Like, we got some very good pieces all over the place. So we got Keith, Drury, and Galchenyuk. Gerbeshkov, Pierce is all the way up to the second line. Even though he is still listed as a third liner, he does have some good offensive stats, and he's been decent in his first 2 years in the NHL. As you can see, 31 and 36 points. And then we also got Zubov still over here. On the third line, we got McCardle, Zadorov, and Finger. And our fourth line, Okposo, Boudreau, and Jokela is going to be making the NHL this year. After playing 2 years in the AHL, he played pretty decently. So I'm excited to see how this guy plays, even though he's on the fourth line. Defensively, we got Starbek and Darmour, Henry and DiPietro, and Ulanov and Laddie. So we still have a very good defensive core. And then goalies, still Ross Carter and Vic Graves. In terms of depth, guys, we got Tootin for a depth defenseman, and then we also have Darling and Petrovic for depth forwards. In terms of the AHL, it's just, there is still some good prospects down there, but yeah, this is basically how the lines are. Sucks that some of these guys didn't end up growing more, like Sheldon Roy, because he was up to a 73 at like 20 years old, but he hasn't grown since. We don't have really a lot of defensive prospects other than Quick, so we might have to find some more defensive prospects, because our defensive core is kind of getting up there in age. Goalie-wise, we got Mikulski and Tamara, and then there's also some depth goalies as well, just in case. Okay, so anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Colorado Avalanche franchise mode. So in next episode, which should be airing technically on the 20th, if I'm not mistaken, that will probably be the final season in like for season simulation, because if we make the Stanley Cup Finals hypothetically this season, it looks like round 1 would be the 23rd, round 2 would be the 27th, round 3 would be the 30th, and then the Stanley Cup Finals, if we made that, would be on September the 3rd. And then also there would be the recap episode on the September the 6th, and then we'd get into NHL 20 like literally shortly after that, because I think it's either the 7th or the 10th that it's out early. So yeah, this should be the last season if we get that far. But if for some reason we were to not make the playoffs, or we'll get eliminated in the first round, we might have a chance to do another season simulation, but I don't know if we get to the Stanley Cup Finals before the end of the series. So I think this is definitely going to be the final season in this GM mode. So anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.